Hey everybody, welcome back to another mod showcase for the King Arthur Knight's Tale Enhanced Edition. This is one I'm particularly excited to get into a bit. This is a very large update that has been pushed out, as this is a rework to pretty much all of the champions bar Lancelot, I believe. It only shows the sort of generic-ish champions here. Like, it's not showing... Oh, here we go. We got more of a full one. It's not showing the White Knight, but the White Knight did receive changes as well. The only one that KAKT told me didn't get changes was Lancelot. So maybe he's coming later, more specifically because he is a very different champion from the sort of main set here. So if champion is one of your favorite classes like mine, this is definitely something to be excited about. There's some very large gameplay changes to their toolkit, sort of their main mechanical changes. You can see here it's through this main ability he incorporated of defensive stance and offensive stance. You kind of switch them back and forth between what kind of mode you want them to play in. And each one offers all kinds of different buffs and different upgrades and abilities, whether you want them to obviously be more defensive, take less damage, have more armor, get more Overwatch type attacks in, or offensive stance. They take a bit more damage, but they'll do more damage. And you activate offensive stance with this lunge skill, which gives all of the champions a little bit of range. 2 to 3 is not a lot, but it is something champions do struggle with mobility. So this is a useful addition. On top of that, just extra damage upgrades here, so you can just really drive in the damage that much more. This doesn't really go into full detail on all of the more specific abilities. I'll show you a bit of that, but I just figured I'd show you this. This is the main core gameplay change to the champions in general, and if you want to get a closer look at all this, go ahead and feel free to pause, and you'll come to understand what the overall gist is going on here. Now, for this mod, because the update is so large with so many different heroes that got changes to them, I'm not really going to do a video just doing a very shallow look at all of them. I'm going to kind of go case by case, show off each of them individually, at least Black Knight, White Knight, and then probably Sir Kay. I don't think I need to show you Landville and Bruenor, as they're going to be pretty similar to Kay. But Black Knight, I figured, is a good starting point because I think he got the most changes out of all of them. And as one of my personal favorite characters in the entire game, I think this is just a really good starting point. The main gameplay style that I think the mod creator KAKT is pushing with him seems to be a sort of lone wolf style, kind of like Lancelot in the base game. You're meant to sort of leap in there, engage with leap attack, and once you're in there, you'll get the lone wolf bonuses here, and you'll start taking a bunch of hits, which will play into vengeance, except Black Knight should be okay at enduring that a fair bit because he has the ability to sustain himself with things like Battleborn and a new Drain Life skill that he has. And because he's a champion that gets stacking damage bonuses through things like Rage and just a good amount of champion gear really in the game provides these bonuses, the damage on Drain Life will actually scale up, meaning he will have the ability to heal a fair bit amount more health on him than someone like Tristan could in the base game. He has a sort of catch-all passive here at the bottom, Torturer, where he just gains 6% extra damage for each status effect. Burning, Bleeding, or Vulnerable, any of these, that's 6%, a total of 18%, which is quite significant. Juggernaut has been replaced with Advance, so now it's 12% cumulative weapon damage for each tile, so it's a bigger damage buff. However, it will only apply to the next attack or the end of the turn. And the hero will lose 50% of unspent movement AP upon attacking, so this will make it a little bit harder to sort of chain a bunch of kills with your champion. If you remember in the base game, some of the videos I've done in the past with certain builds, it's really easy to just stack up like 20 movement AP and just cross the entire map. So this will help mitigate that a little bit. It's a slight nerf, but it's a bigger damage buff. I think it's an interesting balance. And lastly, a new tier 3 skill of Ferocious Swings. We'll swing twice for a base 90% damage, but that's not really a big deal because, again, stacking champion damage here, but less armor breaking. And it has a flat chance to do 0% double damage. We'll get to why it lists that in a second. But if you kill someone, All enemies within 3 tile ranges will be affected by Gruesome Display. Gruesome Display makes it so they are vulnerable and weakened for 2 turns. So that's a pretty strong debuff. With the upgrades on it, Head Splitter, it now has just an inherent 40% chance to deal double damage, which is pretty high, especially with some gear you can get in this game to stack onto this. You could easily get that to like 60%. And it just has an extra 20% armor breaking penalty. Grand Display increase the range of Gruesome Display by 2, so you can debuff a lot more enemies. Lasting Image, the debuffs last an extra turn. And then Feared. It's a sort of unique status that he's implemented where they'll be more likely to run away and disengage, thus provoking opportunity attacks. And because of offensive stance being able to have more than one opportunity attack per turn, it's multiple free attacks per turn, theoretically. So my main strategy moving forward is going to be try and find a clump of enemies, jump into them, start wailing on them, get my Vengeance to proc up, throw out some sick damage, use Gruesome Display from Ferocious Swings, and see if I can get any crazy damage off of that and opportunity attacks. I really tried to choose as many abilities as possible that I thought really played into this new imagined playstyle. Things that I think would help that. So because there's so many new abilities, you're really stressed on skill points and where you want to put them. So I did skip out on Earthshaker, as sad as that makes me. It's such a good ability, but I think this is the best way to really highlight what new stuff he has going on with the mod. So let's just jump into some fights and we'll see how effective it is. Real quick, since some people are probably going to be curious, I forgot to include this. Gear-wise, I mean, this is my sort of standard Black Knight build in terms of essences, but for gear, just running Soul Merchant stuff, so the Spirit Flame Sigil, this makes it so he'll actually apply burning on his weapon here, and extra burning damage even after he's been hit 5 times. I think the reworked Black Knight synergizes fairly well with the Soul Merchant gear, funny enough. Keeping the Earthsmith ring, may not use it a whole lot, but just having a range skill is just always going to be really good for a champion, so I still think this is a very good item. And then Horn of the Giant Slayer. Extra AP and extra damage against Fomorians. As you can tell, this save file is during the Chain God patch, so we'll have a bit more modern relevant missions for me to show off for you. I've chosen the Warlord mission to use as my demonstration. Lots of Fomorians, should be some good groupings of enemies. And we don't have damage focus anymore, which is kind of a big deal. That was an extremely strong ability. And it kind of makes sense. The general theme of the mod is to make things a bit more dynamic and interesting, but also lower the power level a little bit, because having so many teams that can just 1-2 turn sweep enemies can get a little boring or tiring for some players. I get that. So on our opening turn, we are still going to back up a little bit, though, because I want them to group up more. Our whole thing is AoE. We have tons of AoE. So we're going to pass our first turn. Hopefully they'll group up a bit, and then we'll engage with Black Knight and see what happens. Not really going to open up with anything yet this turn. We may do some softening on the follow-up. Okay, that's an amazing grouping right there. Let's go ahead and we'll definitely do Divine Favor. Let's get you out of the way. Definitely gonna want to do a little bit of softening here. And let's go ahead and Death Hex you. Fire Blast. If we get some burning, that means extra damage for Black Knight, because he does have Torturer. And we can get some of this off. Okay, cool. Now we do have our Lone Wolf bonuses as well, because he did start his turn with no allies adjacent to him. Let's clear the way, so now when we leap attack in, perfect. Nice. Let's go ahead, move up to here. No, we want to move to here. Let's go ahead and do a Ferocious Swings. Was not expecting the Banshee Howl. That did startle me a little bit, not gonna lie. But we did apply weakness and vulnerability to everyone. Let's go ahead and position ourselves for a backstab. If we do power attack, and then if we move to here and we do whirlwind. Excellent. Turn them around, so now we get another swing here. If only I had Earthshaker, I could finish off both of them. But if I move to here, we can Earthball. Oh, it's not quite enough to kill. What if we weaken them? Then Earthball, free swing. Nice. Okay. So, I mean, looks like offensive stance persists through combat, too. That's cool. I definitely like that. There's a little effect so you can tell. I mean, that's a very strong opening performance for the Black Knight. Managed to get a one-turn sweep right after I mentioned how this was designed to kind of reduce that. But that fight, admittedly, lots of wargs, makes it a little more susceptible to that, I suppose. Lots of chaining we could get on there. But let's just do another fight, maybe two, and see what else you can do. Alright. We're just going to do the same thing as last time. Let them come in a bit so we can get some better grouping. Pop a guard. Let's actually slow you. Blood Hex you. And we'll save the rest of our AP for next turn. I think we can drop a Thunderstorm on turn 1, no problem. And pass. Alright, no huge groupings this time. Let's go ahead and pop Divine Favor. Everyone's a little more spread out this time, so let's go ahead and use the potions here. Let's see what happens. Pop a Haste Potion. Let's pop a Bless Potion. May need it. We'll circle back to you. For now, let's leap at you. Let's position behind. If we do a Ferocious Swing, let's actually move one more over. Can I move one more over? No, I can't. Alright, yeah, let's do a Ferocious Swing. You can, man, the range on that is so large. You can see all of these enemies all the way over here are getting the debuff now. If we do an Earth Ball, not enough to kill there, so let's do some softening. Let's drop a Fire Blast. Then if we shoot an Earth Ball over here, free swing. Not quite enough to kill, that's okay. Let's move to here. And if we do Whirlwind... If we do Drain Life... That's a lot of armor break off of Drain Life. I may just use it purely to secure a kill. Alright, well, let's see what happens. Let's use Drain Life. Okay, cool, I was in range, so I got... Drain Life got the kill, Free Swing got another kill, and then... We're short 1 AP to get the kill on the Windmaster Champion. Alright, that's fine. Not bad. We'll just go ahead and clean up a little bit over here with the rest of my party. Let's see what happens on the next turn. Okay. Power attack. Cleave. What do we want to do here? Honestly, let's kind of work on this totem. take to hits, that's fine. Don't mind that. Let's do a power attack. Free swing, nice. We can do another earth ball. It's not quite enough to kill. Unless we do this. Or Ector will get the kill, that's fine too, I suppose. What to do with you? A lot of our stuff's on cooldown. I mean, we can just hit you, I guess. Move to here. Cleave. Free swing. Okay. I mean, we're putting out some solid damage per swing as well. It's just the AP refunds aren't as strong with the mod, so it's just harder to keep our turns chaining and keep going. But a lot of worms just got summoned, so that's good for us and our leap attack. Easy triple. Let's move into position before we shoot that earth ball off. Free hit. And then if we move to here, we can do ferocious swings. Got the double damage kill. Move to here. Let's get a cleave. Move to here. Earth ball. Free swing, get the kill there. Then all that's left is this guy in the back corner, which Ector can finish off. Alright, so I'm back in the middle of a fight. I wanted to capture actual vengeance in action, rather than just recording an entire third fight, see if it didn't happen or not. But it is. I've managed to actually burn through some of my health here. So about half. So we're getting about half of the vengeance bonus, which caps at 33%. This is about 16, plus another 12 from burning and vulnerability. Plus we did some movement for the advance passive. So we have a number of damage buffs going. We got 2 kills here with these wargs. So we're going to go for a backstab here on the shield breaker, and you can see that's going to be 369 damage on a basic, and that's like 418 on a power attack. There's just some really good damage bonuses here. Get a little bit of HP back. Let's move into here. Yeah, that's fine taking the opportunity attacks. I'm trying to get my HP a bit lower. If we do a ferocious strike, yeah, sure, let's go ahead and... Do I want to do a whirlwind first? Let's do a whirlwind. Nice. Interesting interaction, too, is because the kill technically happens first, which triggers the killing spree, even though he gets knocked back by whirlwind, I still actually get the hit in, because technically the hit should be happening before the knockback, I'm assuming, but just because of the game, I guess, the knockback animation happens before the attack animation. So it looked like I just hit this guy from, 2 things over. They don't seem to quite stick to the grids fully correctly with the knockback stuff. So maybe that needs to be tweaked a little bit. But, I mean, it doesn't mess with the targeting, I've noticed. Like, if I move here, I will be able to hit this person. Let's move here. Let's do a ferocious swing. Got the double damage, wasn't enough to kill. That's unfortunate. Oh well, we can probably finish him off next turn, no problem. I'm not even going to really bother with everyone back here. They're so far away. Alright, back to Black Knight. Let's, just do a normal swing, right? If we get how we want, we'll hit him, kill the totem, then hit the warg. Dang. Oh well, let's just go over here. And I mean, we're back to full health. Honestly, the Battleborn self-heal is very strong. We're staying fully healthed up, even though we're just somewhat recklessly diving into the enemies completely solo, and we're staying at full health. So, I mean, the new version is definitely just as tanky as the old one, with damage focus, just through the health regain. It's a lot stronger than I thought it would be. Let's just move up. Oh, we actually have enough. Okay, I'm not actually close enough to hit him. Oh no, that's right. It costs 5 AP now. The cost of skills, I still confuse it with the base game every now and then. Alright. If we do a power attack, not quite enough to kill. If we do a death hex, soften a little bit. Now power attack. Cool. And then we can just run up on you, take some damage along the way. That's perfectly fine. Lower my health for vengeance. And then let's 174. What is it? Whirlwind. Let's just weaken. We can do this. $570 whirlwind. That is really good. So didn't quite zero out the HP for some of the maximum damage, but we saw there he can still be hitting some pretty nasty damage numbers. Hundreds per hit, just like the old champions. The ability to sweep isn't quite as strong, despite the fact I was able to get that sweep in the first fight. That was fairly optimal conditions, or close to at least. But not quite as much sweep potential, but very strong self-sustain and still very good numbers in terms of raw damage he's putting out. So there you have it, everybody. The Black Knight Overhaul for King Arthur Knight's Tale Enhanced Edition. Honestly, a lot of fun. I really appreciate and enjoyed the sort of thematic rework to the Black Knight, making him this hyper-aggressive one-man army kind of thing, really kind of embracing that feel. Especially since that's kind of, you know, what champions sort of felt like already in the base game to a degree, but that was mostly just because they could sweep enemies in a single turn, either on the first turn or second turn. But now it's more of a one-man army in the sense that he's still going around, can't really sweep as much, as that's just been heavily nerfed and mitigated across the board in the mod to make it a little more challenging, but he still feels very powerful and imposing and kind of one-man army-ish because of the strong self-sustain. I've already been in touch with the mod creator, KAKT, about the self-heal. It did feel a little overtuned, so he did say he would turn it down on Battleborn a bit. Right now it's 8 HP per hit, which is a lot, as you saw. He's going to turn that back down to 5 the base form, and I think that's pretty good. Probably won't be able to keep himself at full health quite as much like he was in this video moving forward, but he does have life drain as a fallback. I really liked the rework overall. Thematically, still felt like a very strong main damage dealer, just kind of going off doing his own thing. It was really cool. I definitely recommend giving Black Knight a shot if you're gonna play this mod. Do either a Tyrant Old Faith or a Tyrant Christian, probably Tyrant Old Faith, and I don't think you'll be disappointed. It's really fun. He's very cool. Up next after this, I'm going to cover the White Knight, and then I'm going to cover Sir Kay as sort of the representative for the standard champions. After that, I'm going to get back into my Let's Play and really try and finish that up. It's been going for a while, and then we'll see where we go from there. Before I finish off this video, however, there is sort of a small poll that he has asked me to forward to you guys, anyone who happens to be watching this, as he will be watching this as well and reading the comments. What would you guys like to see him put into the mod next? He has a couple ideas, such as a Sir Ector rework that kind of involves with a bit of necromancy, which is pretty cool, or another big rework to some of the broad classes, either like a Defender or a Vanguard class rework. Those are the two he kind of has in mind. Personally, I'm kind of leaning towards the rework for Ector. The idea of a necromancer in the game just sounds really cool to me. I'm a big fan of undead stuff when it comes to fantasy, so that's what my vote's going to be for. But go ahead and let me know which of these 3 options you would like to see next and have that put into the mod down below in the comments. And if you made it all the way to the end of my video here, thank you. I do appreciate it, and I hope to see you in the next one.